Hi, good day to everyone, and welcome to today's discussion on one of the unique topic that is unlock the brand advantage, supercharge your marketing game like a pro. Welcome to another enriching episode of Marketing Mondays, where we unravel the secrets to mastering the art of marketing Mondays or overall marketing. Today we are joined by an exceptional guest, Mr. Vishwendra Verma, founder and partner at Growth Sutra. Vishwendra brings a wealth of experience and insight into the world of brand advantage and supercharging marketing efforts. In this fireside chat, we are diving deep into the realm of unlocking the brand advantage and transforming your marketing game to professional levels. We'll discover the essence of brand advantage, how it can reshape marketing strategies, and its potential to foster connection that resonates with audiences. I'm excited to welcome you all to this fireside chat as we explore the fundamental components of a captivating brand, from crafting compelling identities to igniting emotional bonds with customers. We'll delve into the real brand success stories that have harnessed the power of brand advantage to achieve marketing excellence. So, get ready to supercharge your marketing game like a pro under the valuable guidance of Vishwendra Verma, founder and partner at Growth Sutra. Welcome, Vishwendra, onto our session of Marketing Monday.
Thank you, Naveen. I'm glad to be here and I'm looking forward to this session.
Certainly. So, we'll quickly jump onto the questions which are quite striking and quite direct. Like, what are the core principles of successful business branding that have endured over time, and how can companies leverage them to stand out in the market?
That's a very good question. And in fact, I would like to begin with what is called as a brand identity. And in fact, I'm going to quote a author, a philosopher, who actually talked about, I'm not who you think I am. I mean, it's about the self-identity. I'm not who you think I am. I'm not who I think I am. I'm who I think you think I am. Okay, so this is from Charles Horton Cooley. He's an American sociologist, and I relate it with brand identity. So when we look at brand identity, we look at from the perspective of not from the business themselves, but we also look at from the customer perspective. So when we look at this brand identity from that perspective, so your brand is not what customer think it is. Your brand is not what you as an owner think it is. What you think your customers think of your brand is what it is. So this is what the brand identity is all about. And this is very, crucial, especially in the realm of, dynamic world. If you look at the history of branding, it actually goes back like 6,000 years back when people started using, certain seals and mark to use it on their product in order to, either their goods or their, cattle, in order to claim their ownership and also to share their legitimacy that this is coming from them. And in fact, when I was actually reading some books, and I came to realize that during Gupta and Maurya dynasty, in fact, the merchants actually started minting coins. They were the first one who started minting coins before the rulers did, and they were using certain marks which can give identification to their business. So these minted coins with their marks were used not only to transact, exchange as an exchange medium, but also as a branding tool. So little did they know that, they are kind of setting up a brand framework from that perspective. And then, when you move forward, when you come to industrial revolution, that's where you see there's a lot of mass production which is happening, and there's a fierce competition which has been there, and people, especially businesses, has started leveraging various innovative ideas in terms of branding concepts. So they started using taglines, they started using slogans, they started using advertising as well a lot to differentiate, to actually try to reach out to their target consumers, make them show their unique differentiation, and build that trust which is needed, because trust is what drives sales. 81% of the sales, there was a study which was done, and almost 80% of the sales actually, is driven by trust. So if a customer has a trust in your business, there's high chances that, they're going to buy from you. So now let's come to the brand DNA. I mean, in terms of what are the various elements which are important, which business should be aware of. And these brand DNA, in my, understanding, there are 5 words, keywords that actually define that brand DNA. One is the persona. What is the brand persona? What is the personality that your brand has in front of your what is the voice that you have? What is the messaging that you have been using as part of your brand DNA? Second is your visual identity, which is what are the colors that you're using. So in fact, a lot of the colors you might have seen red and blue, which has been used extensively in branding, and the reason being because these colors can evoke emotions and that can relate with the consumer. So that's why colors, the right colors have been used by as part of the visual identity, in terms of along with certain other abstract designs which can actually give use certain marks. Third thing which is very important is the recall value. How your branding or how your brand can resonate with your target consumer, and what is the recall value, whether they would be able to remember that brand, those brand elements which they've got exposed to, and for how long they would be able to remember that brand recall. Lastly is the I would say the second last is the adaptation. In the dynamic world, like you have seen Twitter moving to X, that's a rebranding which is happening. So are you is your brand is also flexible to adapt to the changing environment? That's very important as part of this brand DNA. And lastly is the values. So what are the core values, the purpose, the belief, that imbibes your business? So how these values are being communicated through your brand elements? So this is what I would recommend, that these are the areas that every business should be aware of before they start their brand journey, or if they want to have a successful and more effective branding to drive not only the growth, but also at the same time make customer loyal.
Got it. And you have said wonderfully that you are what your customers think you are.
Yeah.
So, keeping that in mind, what are the strategies that one can use to create a magnetic brand that captivates their target audience?
That's a question which could actually differ from industry to industry, but I'll take a generic view and try to address this question. So there's when we work with organizations in terms of driving or building their branding campaign, we actually look at a 3-word framework, which is ACT. And ACT actually stands for audience. So have you defined who is the audience? Who is the target ideal customer profile? What are their needs? What are their intent? What is their buying intent? How they behave on a social media. I mean, digital is one of the medium where you can easily understand how your customers are behaving. So you can, through their engagement on certain channels, on the way they react to your messages, that's a lot of good data that you can utilize in order to understand your audience. So once you have defined your audience properly, then the second critical element is content, or in other parlance, stories. So what is your brand story? What is the content which you have put together in order to share the proof points, or share your the values that you have delivered, that your brand has delivered. What is the various formats that you are using as part of your content? Either it's a long form content, short form content, whether it's been used with the help of a video, whether it's a PDF that you are using, carousel imagery that you're using. Are you using brand advocates like influencers as part of this content? So this element is again very important when you put together the plan to take your brand to the next level. The third element is the triggers or touch points. What are the triggers when you should be connecting with your customers, or what are the triggers when customers connect with you, and then what are the touch points? What should be the channels where you can approach them? Should it be social media? Should it be radio, TV? Should it be print media? Should it be any events where you feel that you would be able to connect with your customer there? So these are the 3 very important elements that one should be well aware of before they start putting their brand campaign.
Got it. And every marketing is the, I would say, is the path to the purchase. So, what is the connection between the branding and customer psychology, and how does it influence their path to purchase?
Yeah, so that's the customer psychology is, in fact, all the marketers should be also students of psychology. That's my learning so far. If you don't understand psychology, it would become very difficult for you to understand how the brand elements perform. And to begin with, you need to understand customer psychology as well. And when you look at customer psychology, it's primarily from the perspective of how we think as an individual, right? So there's very popular model that's been used. It's heuristic model, and that's been used by our brains most of the times. Our brain actually work on heuristic model, and what it means is it's always looking for shortcuts in life. Okay, so either it will make decisions on the basis of your past experiences, okay, your past memories. If you have a memory of a specific brand and there's a very strong memory, that will actually make that individual to buy from that brand, and that's how heuristic model works. Other thing that works are stimulants. So either this stimulant can be in the form of a color, it can be form of a message, it can be form of influencer. So these stimulants also influence the heuristic way of thinking. But then almost 80 to 85% of the times when we are making a decision, we actually following heuristic model. Our brains is actually following heuristic model. And that's what most of the well-known companies are using that model to hit the consumer psychology. So if you look at if you see an image of a women smiling and showing her teeth, you would realize, okay, this is a Colgate ad, right? So I also want to have, I also develop that emotional connect. Yes, I also want to have those shining teeth, and I also want to be smiling, and then you connect with Colgate. Similarly, if you have something on the lines of so there's another model that comes into play. It's from Carl Jung, and these are 12 different archetypes that he has talked about. So if you look at say McDonald's, I'm loving it. As soon as you hear I'm loving it, you can connect. Okay, this is from McDonald's. And the kind of colors that they're using, either it's yellow or red, that's again, kind of stimulate your consumer brain, and the consumer brain actually then connects with that brand. So that's how it kind of works. But Carl Jung has gone further. He's actually talked about individuals from 14 different archetypes, and these archetypes have been used by brands when they build their campaigns, when they build their messaging framework. So for instance, if you look at Google, Google has a persona of a sage. Sage is an archetype that's been defined by Carl Jung. And Google act as an answer. It's a sage who will give answer to every question which you're going to ask them. Okay, so that's how they build that persona of Google. Similarly, if you have, there's a persona of ruler. So ruler is the alpha male, or the person who is very dominant. And normally brands like Rolex, they would use that kind of aggressive, dominant position. They would also have the similar kind of colors, black and white, which they would use in their campaigns, and they would also use ambassadors, brand ambassadors who have that aura, who actually brings that more value in terms of that ruler kind of archetype to their brand. So these are some examples, but yeah, that's very important. The psychology actually plays a huge role in building your brand campaigns, in drafting your messaging, and that should actually connect with your brand purpose, but it should also connect with your consumer needs or pain points. In fact, most of the time the consumers are not even aware of what their pain points are or what their needs are. So many times, these brands also try to educate them, and especially this happens most of the times in B2B sector, when you would see a lot of thought leadership coming from B2B organizations trying to establish their brand as a thought leader in that industry.
Correct.
So educating their consumer, then taking it from there.
And we have seen lots and lots of ups and downs in the recent 5 years, with the COVID coming into the picture, after COVID, second wave, third wave, and so on and so forth. And we have seen larger economies changing their shape. In fact, India has also changed its stance and changed its shape. So, what role does a brand play in enhancing the business resilience and guiding decision making during the challenging times?
Yeah, that's actually because we all have seen, we have come through COVID. We have seen the impact that it actually have on masses, and COVID has not only impacted the masses, but it has also impacted businesses. So there are many businesses who have kind of taken a different approach to reach out to their masses. Of course, there was a genuine effort which most of these businesses have put together. Branding actually played a huge role in kind of making that business more resilient. So branding is always for a long-term play. It's not like sales. Sales is always a short-term play, but branding is for a long-term play. I mean, it is not only building a mind share with your target consumers. It is not only build a trust. It's not only trying to get a wallet share of the consumer, but at the same time, these brands are also impacting their consumers' day-to-day lives, right? And that's where they have to kind of build their messaging so that they can connect with their consumer lives directly. And that's what a lot of brands have done during COVID, where they learned, this is the time when they should reach out to their consumer. They should actually deliver what is expected, especially in these times, where consumers are not only looking for certain solutions, but they're also looking for solutions that can impact their lives at a greater scale. And that's where the branding, actually, if you have a brand purpose which is clearly defined as part of a brand identity, and if you have stitched it together through the entire framework, through entire value chain, it will communicate to your customer that we are a trusted partner of your day-to-day lives, and you should trust us. If you need any help, or if in any of your times, we should be able to. We are flexible enough. We are adaptable to listen to you and to meet your requirements. And that's why during COVID, there are a lot of these brands who have taken various innovative approaches. So some of the brands, while a lot of brands have taken a hit on their balance sheet, they reduce their costing, but at the same time, some of the brands I have seen have done excellently well. So if you look at the healthcare brands, there are many new brands which have come up during that period. Technology sector actually boomed a lot during that because there was a need for collaboration between employees who are working from home, and they were looking for cloud solutions, so that while whatever their solutions or whatever areas they are working, especially from a technology perspective, they are safe, secure, but at the same time people can also access it while they are working from home, or they can deliver it from home, or they can connect with other employees or customers through those collaborative solutions. So even like Zoom actually did excellently well during COVID, because that became a platform to connect various people during these times in a safe and secure environment.
Absolutely, you're right. And last but not the least, I would request a quick answer on this. What actionable steps can you take to unlock the brand advantage and become a marketing pro? Just a quick answer. First thing that is coming into your mind.
Yeah. So, I would certainly recommend that people should, we have actually 4 sutras in this. So one is, and this is what we shared. with a lot of audience, a lot of our customers whenever we talk to them. So one is, of course, you need to have a mindset of inch wide, mile deep. Your you should be able to help. You should be able to create your niche, your expertise. So either whether you're a brand or whether you're a person, you should create your niche, and you can start building that niche. And within that niche segment, you should build your insights which are mile deep. So that is the first sutra, which I believe it's very important in this age. If you build that niche, you would be able to secure your place in the society or even the business environment. Second, I would recommend is strengthen your digital real estate, which is very very important. So if you are on social media, or if you have a website, it's important that you are active, you are consistent in your messaging, in your communication there, and engaging with your friends, with your consumer, with your customer. So you should actually leverage the potential of real estate, digital real estate in these scenarios. Third is avoid any spray and pray at your estate. So you would not get any good results from spray and pray kind of campaigns or approaches. The only thing which may work for you is a very targeted campaign after understanding your strengths and weaknesses and what your customer needs. That's very important. And last but not the least, always if you face any issues, or if you are looking for more insights, always reach out to experts like who are senior, who have been there and done that, and they would be able to share their insights, their knowledge with you. I think today I have seen there are so many mentors who have been there in the industry, and they are actually reaching out to various people who are in need of more guidance and knowledge. So yeah, these are my 4 quick insights which I would prefer to share, or I call it as sutras.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Naveen, and thank you, CXO TV, for giving me this opportunity to come on your platform and sharing my insights with your audience. I hope they would have found it interesting. If there's any feedback, please do share it with me. Thank you so much again.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone. Catch me live in the next episode of Marketing Monday by CXO TV, while we would be discussing relevant and interesting topics like this. See you there.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.